It's the Yes Yeah Yes podcast with Marissa and Tamiekas. Look, I'd rather be a gambler than a weedhead. I walked in, sat down, had to leave, and violently vomited. I'm not going down that hole. I'm not. Don't even try me. Not today, Peyton. Not today. I value my pressure. You're the cream, and the coffee is life. Life. You bring cream to my life. I'm not sure. Once a week for an hour.
Sorry about like it cut off quick. I like took all my files off my computer and put them on flash drive, and that includes the audio. So that was like a stripped up version. So it sounded weird and it sounded short. I have to put the other one back on my computer. Like I was just trying to save memory and stuff. So
I didn't even notice.
Like, you know, it claps a little longer.
Oh, right.
There was like the clapping ended. And I apologize for the if you hear sirens, all of a sudden, I swear I'm not in the hood. It's like anyway.
Sirens are not just in the hood. What?
I was just about to say, even if I was like by a hospital or usually like when it's that kind of noise, you're like on the highway. And yeah. I am close to a highway, so that is why. And I'm near a hospital, so. Which brings us to our topic, health versus wealth. Speaking of hospitals, there's been a lot of talk about, you know, athletes choosing their mental well-being over, you know, competing in the sport they, you know, probably make all their money. We heard about Naomi Osaka a few months ago, and then most recently, Simone Biles. And, you know, there's been a lot of talk about like, what did they make the right decision? What were they thinking? Like they have, excuse me, they have a job to do. Like it's so much talk that I was just like, let's make that today's show. And kind of talk about where we stand, how it's kind of affected our life and things like that. But before we get into it, how are you, Marissa? How's your summer going?
Summer's going. It's hot. Sun is hot.
Anything fun that you've been able to do in this second wave of our pandemic?
Not a damn thing.
On any trips or nothing?
No, I've been getting it. I know this sounds like stupid. Clearly the sun is hot, but it's just so hot that my skin feels like it's burning. And I just been getting sick like every other week and just very lethargic. I'm just very lethargic. I just don't have the energy for it. And it hasn't been fun. So hopefully August is not so bad. Hopefully the heat index and, you know, get some cloudy days going, which would be perfect for me.
Right.
But I can't even go to the park. I can't be outside.
Have you tried getting, you know, a lot of athletes have those sleeves, the athletic sleeves, breathable sleeves. You know what I mean? Where it kind of like a lot of track stars use them, where you can cover up your whole body but not be suffocating because it's breathable material.
No, I haven't done that yet.
Like if you probably see them, like the athletes wearing them during the Olympics. You just have these breathable, you know, shirts and stuff. Obviously they're workable shirts, but
oh yeah,
you know, it's one of those things where because of what you know suffer from during the summer. I don't know if you want to tell people what it is exactly, but it allows you to enjoy the elements without, you know, suffering.
Getting sick every week.
Yeah.
That would be amazing because I feel like garbage all the time. I want to be able to, like, I don't know, like there were some nice cloudy days last week in the morning and I was able to like ride my bike.
Right.
And I just haven't been able to do it. And then I'm stuck inside and, you know, you feel like even worse.
Yeah, it's kind of, I can imagine it sucks. Especially this is the time of year where people want to be out and enjoying, friends, family, and the
Get it on and
outdoors,
popping.
especially where we live,
Yeah,
we live in a seasonable, in seasons. We experience the seasons. And so you kind of want to be able to experience the seasons.
exactly.
So I can imagine. I can only imagine. That's it. That's all I can do is imagine all the people.
And what about you? You seem to be having a lot of fun, a lady about town.
Well, a lot of the stuff I do by myself, like I went to the other day, I went to the NBA draft. My
What is that like?
So yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about it. But so my play cousin, and this kind of speaks to our part of our topic. So I've been feeling kind of down all week, like kind of like depressed, like lonely, because as much as you can do things with other people, it's like it's lonely in the summer when you're not in a relationship, you don't have children, and your friends, they have their own lives and they're busy, and nobody like most of my friends don't, I shouldn't say most of my friends, but I don't get a lot of like, hey, come over, hang out, or anything like that. And so
Mhm.
you just feel kind of like, you just
A
feel like,
certain kind of way.
yeah,
Yeah.
just feel like, nobody gives a shit. Nobody checks for me. And plus the fact that I have a job that's not, it's not a job where I interact with people and have conversation. Like I've been doing, this, these people with these working from homes, it's not new to me. You know what I mean? So you get your moments where you're just like in the car, and you're just by yourself, and you get depressed, and I'm one of those people where I get depressed and then my mind races and I start crying and I'm like, oh my God, like I don't want to go down that hole because I've been there before where I've been uncontrollably crying and I don't want to get to those places ever again.
Yeah.
But so my thing is always has been lately like just I want to go out to dinner, but I don't want to hear no. I don't want to, like, it just, I hate rejection.
Yeah.
So I just rather go by myself. So a couple of days ago, I asked a friend of mine to go out to eat, actually 2 weeks ago. And so we met up this past week. And it was nice. I hadn't seen them in a couple of years or whatever. And so, we caught up and everything, and that was good. Um, and then it's funny because they were the it was like the third person I asked to hang out a couple of weeks ago, and they were busy. So the makeup day was a couple of days ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's been like brewing for a while where you ask
Yeah.
somebody to hang out and like, well, can you hang out? Well, can you hang out? And they're like, no, I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. And so you start, your psyche starts to get like, damn, nobody want to fuck with me. Like, what the hell? Nobody
Trust
wants,
me, I get it.
nobody wants to hang out. Everybody's fucking busy. Like, ain't nobody that busy. Oh, you can't answer your phone. You're glued to your phone. It's like one of those things. And so the makeup day was a couple of days ago. So it was cool. Like I said, we hadn't seen each other in a couple of years. So it was nice to hang out. And um, then I had another friend that I asked to hang out. Um, I asked to hang out like, I don't, it was like, I think it was on Monday. I asked a friend and the friend said no. And then another friend said no. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, why is nobody can fucking hang out? But I'm like, what do I expect? It's last minute happy hour. Nobody can just drop everything. I have to remember that everybody don't live the same life that I live. Like I can be off of work at 2 o'clock and be like, yeah, I'm going to happy hour at 3. Like, you want to come? No, I'm fucking working. You know what I mean? Like I have a fucking life. Like, not that I don't have a life, but it was kind of one of those things where it's like, I've started feeling like very insecure. And this is like over a 2-week period. I'm like, why the fuck does everybody keep canceling on me? Or not hanging out at all. So then shoot to, my cousin, my play cousin, um, reaches out and it's like, I got NBA draft tickets. She's like, but you have to be vaccinated to go. I said, oh God. So I'm like, all right, fine. So I reach out to my dad and he's like not responding. I call him. He finally answers the phone. He's like, I can't talk. Click. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you could be, if you could say, I can't, just text me.
Just
I'm in a
text,
meeting.
yeah.
I'm in a meeting. I can't talk. Like, you don't have to be, just don't. That's my thing on a side
Wait a
note.
minute, hold on though. But was he okay? Was there like a medical emergency, or
He
was
was on a
just like,
conference call. Just say that.
yeah,
Send a text message. I'm on a conference call. You're working from home. Like, nobody's going to know you're texting me. You're not at a long table with your phone out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You could probably text on your computer. Like, if you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's going to know. Just be like, I'm on a conference call. And I'm like, nothing. So I'm like, look, I need to talk to you because the time slipped away. I got these NBA draft tickets. Can you go with me? It's only back to the people. He's like, no, I got a lot of work. Sorry, can't go. I was like, oh shit. So I thought about my brother, but he's only got one shot, so he couldn't go. And then I reached out to another friend who likes basketball, and she was working late, so she couldn't go. I was like, what in the fuck? And then it starts raining. So now I'm depressed. I was already depressed.
Oh,
Like raining.
I saw you.
It's like raining like crazy. And I was like,
Standing
nobody will
in the
go.
rain.
So then I reached out to my cousin who lives in Brooklyn. And I was like, okay, she don't go, then I'm just gonna go by myself and just cry in the stands. And she's like, yeah, I can go. I was like, oh my God. Oh, you have no idea. I went from depressed to like not so depressed, you know?
Yeah.
So I know it might seem, I mean, I don't know. You initially said like you're doing a whole lot, but I'm really not. It's just like in the last 2 weeks, all the people that said no
Are coming around.
yeah, it's like, and then like I went out to lunch with another friend, but that was made, it's restaurant week in the city, and so, and it ends on the 1st, so that was like made a while ago, but it's like everything is compounded in 1 week to the point like now I'm dreading like the next couple weeks.
Feast and famine.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I don't know, I got everybody in, and so now nobody gonna want to fuck with me until like October. You know, everybody it's supposed to be week after week. You know, you're supposed to spread that shit out.
Sprinkles. You know what's so funny though? Like you just said October, and I'm like, oh, I could go for some October weather right now. Like, I'm sorry. I am so miserable today. This sounds horrific. So I walked my dog yesterday and he went running. And just running after him and coming back and having that sun beat on me. And it feels like it's always hotter right before it rains because it was like a monsoon yesterday. And now like the sun is shining right here and it's half in my eye. And all I want to do is just melt under this table. But I'm like, yeah, put me in for October.
Yeah. Well, I'm going on a business trip in October. I'll try to pencil you in. August is busy too. September too. I'm not even joking. I'm like, you know, but it's not the whole month. So I can, you know, I got 3 weeks out of each month. I can set aside for you. We can sit outside under, you know, as long as they have outdoor tent. We can sit in a tent.
As long as I'm in a shade.
As long as we're in a tent, but not the bubble tent where there's like plastic on the windows. Like I'm not sitting in.
Those are disgusting.
So anyway, I say all that to say.
Oh wait, no. So finish telling me okay. Go back to the NBA draft thing. I want to know what that is. So obviously I know you're drafting NBA players, not you.
Right. The team.
Whoever.
Yeah. So the teams, I believe it's 60 players get drafted every year from college. Okay. And the best players, you know, they get picked. And so the process of picking who gets to pick first is based on how well you are in the season. So for example, the worst teams get put into a lottery with ping pong balls and the balls shoot out, right?
Now, do they go first or do they go last?
Last. Not last. I mean, in the lottery. They go last in the lottery. So the lottery would be like, I believe 10 or 14. I don't remember exactly, but so the first number you pick would be like the last person, like they're going to be picking 14. for example. Okay. And then the next number, they'll pick 13, the next number, 12, so on. And so the last number that comes out of the ping pong thing, they get the number one pick. And there's one ball for each team in this thing. So it's not like you can pick out 2 Knicks. You know what I mean?
No, hold on. Okay, so you've got like, are there like what, 40, 50 NBA teams?
I think there's 32.
Okay, so like the first half.
You think like you're catching me off guard. I didn't expect to talk about.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm just trying to understand this draft because, okay, so like the first 10 teams that did well, they picked first, and then the bottom half.
The teams that, like, during the season, there's 82 games in a season. The ones who perform the worst, they go into a lottery, because that means that means they need players. They need to fix their team, and so
they pick first.
They go into a lottery. Okay. The lottery are those balls that are in the machine. Okay. So the 10 worst teams, we'll say 10 worst teams, their name goes onto like a ping pong ball. They go in the machine, just like bingo, right? And then out of that machine, the first ball that comes out, that's the 10th pick. Then the next one, 9th pick, 8th. The last ball to come out is the number 1 pick. Okay.
The very first team to pick.
The very first team to pick on draft day. So they get the number 1 pick out of all of the players to pick out of college.
But now, like the team that won
the championship.
Yeah.
So
when do they get to pick?
Oh, that's the 10. That's the 10 picks. But it's a process. Like they could trade. Really they could trade. Yeah, they trade those picks. But everybody else gets to pick based on where they placed during the season. So, you know, and it's convoluted because people can trade their pick.
Why would you trade your pick?
Because there might, like, if you want LeBron James, like, look, I'll give you the 2nd pick in the draft for LeBron James and a bag of peanuts. Whatever. That's just.
But you can't draft LeBron James, right? He already has like a team.
Playing. You only draft in college.
This is college.
College and international players.
So hold on a second. Are they all there in Brooklyn with you, or was this like?
Yes.
So wait, they're in the building and they get to find out where they're playing?
Yes, and they're all dressed up. There's guys in like silver, look like Michael Jackson. This guy had on a silver suit, bell bottoms with penny loafers.
Oh, okay. And that's a player?
Yeah, he just knew he was the shit.
All right. And did he get a job?
Yeah, they all got picked.
So
they all got picked. I'm gonna see if I can pick like find a picture of the players, even though we wasn't prepared for this. But
I'm just so fascinated how, like, and they're all in this building. So all these, and how do you know you're gonna get drafted? Because
you go through a process throughout the end of the season when you decide that you want to play in the NBA. You go through a process where you have to go visit the teams, and you try out, and word spreads, and then, you know. And
you don't have to be a senior, right? You could be.
Then most of them are freshmen. The top picks are usually freshmen.
But wait a minute. So they don't finish college. They go straight to the NBA?
Right. Usually first 1 year of college. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wait, didn't that happen to I know there's other basketball. Who's Anthony? Didn't that happen to Carmelo Anthony?
What?
That he didn't finish college, right?
Yeah.
Or did he get drafted straight?
Top 10 picks normally don't finish college.
Okay.
So,
now
Kobe Bryant didn't even go to college. So I'm gonna share this picture.
Okay.
I don't know if I can bring it up. I can't really zoom it, but let's see. So you can see like the outfits.
Oh, hold on.
You see the guy you see the guy with the bell bottom silver suit, and then the other guy with the silver suit.
In 2 years, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, so
What the hell
fly.
was I wearing?
Do you remember when guys used to wear crop tops?
It I don't. It was not to the NBA drafts. It was wearing.
No, like to the 80s, in the 80s.
Oh no,
like
what you
boys.
call actually wore it to like the ESPYs. The guy Ezekiel's. I can't remember. He plays for the Cowboys. Anyway, we're going through a rabbit hole that I'm trying to avoid. But I didn't. I as much as I would like to talk about sports.
Did you have fun?
I had a good time. It was, I got to spend time with my cousin who I hadn't seen in a while, pre-pandemic, and I needed to see her. I needed a hug. I needed to be told I love you. You know what I mean? Like those things, they seem so minute, but they're
It
so
matters.
important. Yeah, and so shout out to my cousin Pauline. You you know you did something for me. I appreciate you and I love you. Anyway, so back to we are talking sports with the Olympics and stuff like that and health and everything like that. What do you think about the whole thing with Naomi Osaka and like more recently Simone Biles deciding to opt out?
Well, number one, I love it. I am a strong proponent of you need to be where you feel healthy, you feel safe, and you feel, personally secure. And if that wasn't the environment at the moment for her, it's like working for in corporate. You and I work for a company that I had a 3.5-inch ball spot out of stress. I had to get 20 steroid shots in my head just from stress. The moment I leave, my hair grew back like I think even more hair and thicker. If this environment, and not only that, you've got these young ladies, doing all these things. Their bodies are pushed to the max. And then you still criticize what they do when you can't even hold a kid. Like you can't even walk down your front 2 steps without twisting an ankle. So good for them. I appreciate it. And I appreciate normalizing it. I appreciate talking about it openly. I appreciate all of it. Naomi is very young, so is Simone, and those two ladies really are at the they're not at the height of their career. There's still, so much more for them to do and to be, but just as a role model for other women, good on you, and good on you for talking about it, and good on you for, you're about to be, how many French Opens has she done? How many times has she done this? And she just turned around like right there and she's like, you know what? This ain't gonna work out.
Right.
You're Simone. You're in the Olympics, Simone. And she's like, you know what? This ain't it. Today is just not it. Good on you to have the strength. Do you know how many people go through things because they don't have the strength to turn around and be like, this is just not healthy for me right now?
What about remember the time, this a few years ago, remember when Kerry Strug landed on one foot in the gymnastics?
Do you know
it was, I just felt like when I saw it, I was like, wow, that's so amazing. And now when I watch it back now, I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck?
She was hurt. She was hurt and her coach is yelling for her. There was an article that spoke about this and I can't remember who it was, but they spoke about it like at the moment, homegirl is like, oh, that's the epitome of strength. That's, that's how you're an athlete. That's how, you push through. The show must go on. She was hurt.
That was the end of her career.
Had she sat down, maybe she still would have been flipping around.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And you know what? And where is she now? Where is she now? Is she telling other girls with a rolled up ankle, fucked up knees, hip is displaced, keep flipping? You can do it? No, you have to.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I just feel like, the world is seeing a shift, a change, and you're going to either get on board or be left on the side of the road, rolled over. As you used to say, my mom left me on the side of the
LA for dead. Yep.
Like in real life, that's what's happening to people. It's like, I was watching an interview with Natasha Yukin, who won the all around, I think in 2008 And she was saying the thing that stood out to her. Oh, no. I'm sorry. It was Dominique Dawes. She said the thing that stood out to her was that the all of the gymnasts from different countries, when they finished, they would hug each other. She's like, you weren't allowed when I was doing, you weren't allowed to even look in the direction of the Russians. You couldn't hug a Chinese team. Like, what are you doing? She's like, now they come out and they hug each other. Like, good job. They congratulate each other. And the woman, the girl that, the woman, she's a young lady that won the all around this year, Suni Lee, she took a selfie with the other two, the woman from the ROC and the woman from Brazil. Like, that is a clear indication of how things are changing and how, you know,
That's sports. That's real sports to me.
right. And at the end of the day, that eases your psyche. Like, you
Yeah.
already have a lot of pressure performing. So to be able to just like release where you're not like, now I'm like, I hate this person. I have to hate this person. For
For
no
fucking
reason.
what? For
For
no
no
reason.
And so when I was watching back to Simone Biles, I think they caught her on camera saying, like, I don't trust myself. And kudos to the coach for supporting her and not saying, well, get back in. I don't care. Get in there. And then they show clips of her practicing. And I don't know if you saw them over the past few days practicing, because she hasn't decided if she's going to go back, which I don't think she is. But she was practicing and she kept falling. She was doing the uneven bars and she'd fall flat on her face. Like,
if you don't feel safe, you know,
right.
with yourself, you're in your own head.
She said her
Girl.
mind and her body are not syncing.
Yeah.
And so no amount of money is going to be worth it. That even brings me to Sha'Carri Richardson, who we spoke about last week briefly.
Love her.
It's like, she getting the bag now because she chose. I mean, I'm not saying that she should have smoked weed or not, but I get it. I understand it.
Yeah.
You know, and they could have put her in for the relay, but they chose not to. But you know, when you make certain decisions in your life, it may seem like a bad decision when it comes to choosing yourself and your health and your well-being. But the money will come.
Yes. And you know what? I'm so glad that people are making note of the hypocrisy, because the female soccer player who promotes CBD oils.
Oh yeah. Megan.
She's the sports person for CBD oils, but that's okay, right?
But see, the thing that's banned is the THC.
THC. It's still.
It's crazy. But I think things are changing. And knows, by 2024, you know, it might, you never know what 2024 holds. But I do see more people getting on board with like trying to focus more on a person's well-being and getting their mind right. Because last thing we need, like if we focus on, you know, having the right mind frame, maybe we'll have less shootings.
Do you know, so I'll speak for schools. Schools now have social emotional welfare, where obviously not every kid has the vocabulary to be like, I need a brain break, but to get those cues and to make it okay to be like, look, right now, this little math lesson is just a little too much for me. I need a moment. And you have like calm down corners. And that goes from like kindergarten to, you know, 12th. You know, I'm only speaking for elementary, but like literally like a moment where you're like, take a minute. Okay. Right. And that you need that in life. And it's not about, you know, that doesn't make anything less important. It doesn't mean that, you know, the things that we're trying to do today, and when you grow up and you be an adult and you have a job, that says, you know, that also says to your job, perhaps what you're asking of me is more than I am physically able to give, so I need a moment. And that's okay. Americans have a tendency to work and make work who they are. Right. You know, when you're getting to know someone, oh, well, what do they do for a living? It's like, how old are they and what do they do for a living?
Right.
It's never just what are your interests? What are
Or
you
they make good
interested in?
money. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
Oh, that's a good job. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's a good job. You could date them. Oh, they could be your friend group. That's a good job. You know, what about your interest and the things that, like, you find this doctor with a really good job, but like with me, I barely even, like, riding a bike is still tricky to me because my feet got to touch the floor. They got to be no traffic. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, all this, I'm not a physical person, but all of a sudden you're dating this dude who really, and he's like, okay, well, we're going to go relax. Let's go skydiving.
right.
That'd be a no for me. But I just say all that to say, you know, like, we're more than just our W-2s and our paychecks. And, you know, the one of like these morning meditation things that I'm listening to, I think I had mentioned this before. One of the things that it said, it's like, you know, a human lives 2 lives, and the moment they realize this is when they start the second one. And what he meant by that was, you know, yeah, we all have to work, right? We all got bills to pay. We got to make a living. Yes. But you also have to make a life. And when you, like, I think about it, you know, we both have people in our family that died with cancer. You know, do you really think that they cared about the jobs that they had?
Right.
At the end of the day, no. You know, the nicest car on the block, at the end of the day, no. Health versus wealth is never going to be, is no competition for me.
But there are people that feel like wealth is more important because you can buy with wealth, you can buy health. But
no, you can't.
I don't agree. I don't subscribe to that.
You got stage 4 cancer.
Move over, like in the middle. Yeah, you're like, thanks.
Yeah. You got stage 4 cancer, and
right.
There's like no hope for you. What could you buy now?
A nice
your child, your parent. You're taking care of your parent that's dying. Yeah, but you got $1 million in the bank. Now what?
Just like, it makes me think about, even like with COVID, it's like, I don't understand. Like, nobody, I don't know. It's like people just not trying to be healthy. Like, just, all right, you don't want to get vaccinated, fine. Just put a fucking mask on. What is the problem? I was in the city and like people are walking on the street with masks on. I was like, remember I was telling you how the dichotomy between the further you go west and the further you go east?
East, yeah.
I was out east and I was in like Rocky Point, and a woman came up to me. She's like, good for you. I was like, what? She's like, you're wearing a mask. She's like, these fucking people out here. She's like, what the hell? I was like, I know the variant is like, regardless,
everybody's getting it. No matter that variant, vaccinated or not, everybody's getting that.
Right. And so, the sun is like, I'm like changing the way I look.
The sun is shining.
But she was like, congratulating. I was like, yeah, and I'm vaccinated. She's like, so am I. She's like, my father died. I was like, yeah, my grandfather died. And I was like, I'm sure they would have taken the vaccine if they were alive, or at least fucking people have their mask on. I don't know. It's just, I don't want to hear, like, I don't want to hear anybody talking about abortion and the same breath talking about my mask, my body, my choice with the mask. Like, shut the fuck up. It's a mess. But but the thing about
that's so good.
The I don't know how people feel about, like, do people really care about their health, or is it like I wonder if things would be different if the reaction would be like, they said it's like as bad as chickenpox, contagious chickenpox now.
Oh yeah.
Like, I wonder if the outbreak was like chickenpox, if people would be like, oh, like beauty.
Oh, like where you can visually see it?
Yeah. Because we're such a vain country, especially, like, I mean, the world is vain, but in the US, if people started having like physical outbreaks, oh, forget it.
But you're having a total different conversation. You know what's so funny? As you said, chickenpox, I have a scar. I have scars on my forehead and my forehead, my eyebrow, and then a few like from my own, like when I had chickenpox when I was, I think it was like 13 months, maybe. somewhere around there as a toddler. And I just remember like nobody gets it anymore, obviously. But I just think about like,
Why don't they get it though? Because
well, they're well,
they get a shot.
you get a vaccine shot for it, and then you get your booster for it. But remember when you were little and like that one friend that like would get like the random friend that would get chicken pox, and your parents would be like, well, they have chicken pox, if you want to go over you can, and it was like only the select few that already had it could go over.
Right. Like I was at my cousin's house. I have a million cousins, as I've said before, and they had it. So I ended up having to stay there. My mom was like, see ya. And I was like, had the oatmeal, but I was like, that shit was in my head. It was like, but you know, I never got it again.
No.
So it's like,
and the other thing that people don't realize. So like, you know, when you started becoming that select few friends with that you could play with your friends that did end up getting chickenpox after you, that was your other booster. So right. I just think about like,
for some, not everybody, for some.
I'm getting itchy.
Yeah, I mean, I am so grateful that my mother, with all the medical issues that I've had, she made sure that, you know, you ain't gonna get some unnecessary shit. You know what I mean? You've already been in the hospital for your knees, your feet, your elbows. Like, you're not going to the hospital because of fucking mumps. You know,
measles, mumps, rubella.
Yeah, you're not going in for some. What is the one, the kissing one? Mono. Like, you're not fucking.
But there's no vaccine for mono.
No, but I'm just saying. Like,
yeah.
Whether it's I'm not talking about vaccines. I'm just talking about, like, she was like, you're gonna be fucking healthy. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna you're not going to the hospital for some other bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you've already been. So I don't know. But I don't consider myself like the healthiest person. When I was in the city, I went to Red Rooster, and then next door was Sylvia's, and I got myself a meal from Sylvia's to go. Fried chicken, mac and cheese, and mashed potatoes. It's not a healthy meal.
Was it the red potatoes, mashed potato?
Garlic mashed potatoes. I don't know if they're red or not.
Usually they use the red potatoes. Is there a little bit of skin?
Oh, I don't know if there's red.
My mouth is watering.
It's southern. They don't usually use red potatoes.
In the South? I thought that's where they were mainly grown. Oh,
we're not in the South. Like, no, I don't know. I don't get the skin on it. Maybe they are red, but they don't put the skin on it. So I don't know. I don't know if it's Idaho or red.
I like when they leave skin a little bit of skin in the mashed potatoes. There's a lot of nutrients in that skin, FYI.
I'll pass. I don't get mashed potatoes for nutrients. I get it for the gravy or the butter with some fried chicken, collard greens, and mac and cheese. I'm not thinking about nutrients. At that moment, I'm not thinking about health. Okay. So now I want to touch a little bit on the wealth aspect. You think health is wealth?
Listen,
what does that mean exactly to you?
Like I said, that's such a subjective thing, because, you know, our definitions of success vary. Our definitions of, and not just you and me.
Well, I'm asking for your opinion. I'm
giving you my long-winded opinion. Hold on. So success, wealth, and health are all subjective, right? So, you know, do I think I am a successful person? Do I think I am a healthy person? Do I think I'm wealthy? Some days not. But does health equal wealth? 3,000%. You're talking to somebody, and I've said this 1,000 times. I buried my dad when I was 20, my mom when I was 30. I'm pretty sure that both of them would trade all those fun little toys and all the money, not all the money that they make, maybe just a couple dollars here or there. Nobody wants to, you know, be out there not having fun either. To be able to see my kids, to be alive and still, you know, on and pop it. There
Right.
was so much more to do. And like I said, listen, you could ask any millionaire on their deathbed, would they trade it for 10 more years? I think they would.
Maybe so.
And you know what? The definition of health is different. Some people it's just not to be on diabetic medication. Some people to
Wait,
be a size 0.
What? Say that again?
For health, some people's definition of health is to just not be on diabetic medication. To
Right.
some people, it's to fit in a size 0. For some people, it's to be able to walk up and down their stairs and wipe their butts on their own.
Yeah,
It's all subjective,
true.
you know, and I think understanding that and not putting our I don't want to put my definition of these things on other people, and I'm trying my best not to, but at the same time, I am only human. So, you know, I think your health, as I sit here with a roof over my head, a car in my driveway, food in my pantry, and the ability to do, you know, my extra things. Yeah, I think health will always trump wealth. Oh,
Well, I
gotta
found
find
this
another phrase.
article.
I gotta find another phrase.
I know the motherfucker done ruined that word. I found this article that I'm going to share. It's from Super Money, and it says health is wealth, 10 golden rules for a longer, healthier life. I'm not going to read the description of each one, just the kind of the topic. So the first one is maintain a healthy diet. Which I agree. I mean, you got to eat right. I mean, I like fried chicken. Do I eat it every day? No. I love lasagna. I ain't had lasagna in like a month of Sundays. Well, no, I've had it before, a month of Sundays. A week of Sundays.
Sundays.
So, get regular exercise. You know, I've been walking. I know you started riding your bike. So, you know, that's little things like that can go a long way in maintaining your health so that you're not, so you can be around and make some money, get that bread, spend more time outside. For real, I think based on what I said earlier, find yourself that suit, homie, so that you can be outside. This is outside. This is, you know, we're hopefully getting closer to the end of the pandemic, maybe another year or so of this shit, which
I
sounds
think we're
like
going in another lockdown.
I know, that's what I'm saying, another year of this shit.
Mhm.
But we'll be within the pandemic a less amount of years than we'll be out of it.
Yeah.
Or does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, you know, get your suit, homie. Get your suit. Keep a regular sleep schedule.
Love.
Yeah, you
Remember when you used to
texting
take
me at
naps?
4:00 in the morning and not remembering that you texted me means you need to get some sleep.
Which is why I think it's so important. I have been taking melatonin, and again, the other day, apparently 2 nights ago, not only did I wake up, get out of my bed, rustle things around, I woke up my boo thing and asked him if my older son's feet were okay.
Gosh, you gotta
Yeah.
get that sleep. You gotta get the sleep. You gotta get the regular sleep. Reduce stress.
Oy.
You spoke about that, the company we both used to work at, which was taking your hair out. Sometimes reducing stress is letting go of that money for the time being and leaving
Yep.
the job.
Yep.
You know, in this thing it says, you know, adopting healthy habits, the things we talked about, the sleep, the exercising, that can all contribute to a reduction in stress.
Yeah.
The one thing that I've been focusing on a lot lately is remember to tell myself that's none of my business.
Oh, in terms of what?
Anything.
Oh,
Like the things that, like when asking people to hang out and they can't, and they don't give me a reason, or the reason they give me I don't like, oh well, it's none of my business. I have nothing to do with how they came to that conclusion. At the end of
I
the
got
day, I can focus on me. You know what I mean?
I got it.
Strengthen intellectual health. I need to definitely do this. You know, I haven't read a book in I don't know how long. Um, you know, I think reading is definitely fundamental. Learning more about others and having, you know, really open and honest conversations can go a long way. What about you?
Well, I take classes every few months. I can't even tell you how amazing it is to just, like you said, not only have a hobby, read a book, find new things. And it just for the John Q public that's listening with like I am, well, you guys have the financial means to do that. Your library, your local library has tons of free classes. So don't at me. Don't at me. And you know what? We're living in a country that has really good public transportation. So don't tell me it's not accessible and it's not feasible.
Right. Incorporate relaxation practices. It's not something that I've done. But
You meditate though.
I don't meditate anymore. I haven't done that in a long time. Um, to be honest, my living situation is contributing to my depression and my self. I don't want to say self-hate, but I have to change my environment and get back to me. And I'm not able to relax until I do that. And so, you know, I'm on a journey. I've been making some changes lately in my personal life. And so hopefully in due time, I'll be able to go back to meditating and, you know, get to
Good.
know Tamika, maybe go to massage class. I mean, go to a massage, that kind of thing. Thinking about taking up yoga. So I don't know, but we'll see what that is. Pursue moderation in all things. Um, I think I've gotten better with this. Um, I drink water every day, which I didn't normally always do. Now I only drink fruity drinks and alcohol and stuff like that on the weekend, or if I happen to go out in the middle of
Yeah.
with a friend. But typically it's water, and that includes gambling. Like I've cut down on my gambling tremendously. I miss it, but you know, it's one of those things where it's not contributing to my mental well-being.
Yeah.
So what about you?
I need to practice this. I it's not I it So it's
So what
not
do
that I
you
don't have.
what you don't have to, without telling everybody, like your person, if you don't want to share it, like things that you do that you need to cut down or do moderately. Like what?
Well, I go to the craft store a lot and I go to the clearance section and buy it just because it's cheap because I might be able to find something to do with it. And then here I am with the whole jumble of random craft shit that like one thing doesn't go with another. I need to like have a project in mind and get my supplies for my project.
Right.
I also can't say no to free shit. And then everybody's giving me all these hand-me-downs that one, don't fit, and two, are just not appropriate for my life.
You say no to free shit to me all the time. I think it's the person you don't want to say no to.
No, I've been learning to say no. That's my
You
new thing
saying,
this year.
okay, okay,
I've
good,
been learning to say no.
good.
Yeah.
Increase emotional health. I need help with this. Like I told you, I was crying on my way home. I felt like I couldn't call anybody. When you feel like you can't call your mother, who I talk to my mother every day,
Yeah, that's a problem.
that's a problem, you know?
Why do you feel like you couldn't call her?
Because I like, to be honest, I didn't want her to be like, it's okay and tell me how great I am and she's proud of me. I didn't want to hear that.
What do you feel like you needed at that moment?
I just wanted to cry. And I wanted to say why I was crying without being interrupted or, you know, feel better. You'll be okay. Don't worry. It's kind of, and my mom has all the best intentions in the world.
Right.
Not, you know, coming down on her or anything like that. But sometimes you just wanna cry, and
Yeah.
you might just want somebody just to hug you. And she
Yeah.
can't she can't do that. I can't cry on her shoulder. She doesn't live here. Sorry.
Right.
I am in my car. If y'all notice that I keep coming in and out. um,
So do you have like a because usually like you comfort someone the way you find comfort. Um do you have do you have like do you have the I'll use emotional health to say to someone, I just feel like venting. I don't want to hear anything. When you pick
Sometimes.
up the phone to talk to someone,
Well, I don't, it's like one of those things where I don't talk on the phone anymore.
I hate the phone,
But me
but
and
I
you,
also
like
like
me
it.
and you,
Yeah.
we used to talk on the phone every day.
Yeah.
Like whether I was driving to work or you were driving to work, like I don't even talk on the phone anymore. Like the other day I posted something on Facebook about my cupcake because it really made me feel so much happy, especially when I bit into it with my fork or pulled into it and it was filled with strawberry. I was like, oh shit. I was
Did
so
you know
happy.
it was filled with
No,
strawberries?
no, no, I was so happy. So, and I didn't even take a picture of that because I was like, I was so into it. But one of my friends, she texted me like not even 2 seconds after I posted the picture. And I talked to her via text, which was perfectly fine.
Mhm.
And it made me feel so much better because somebody reached out to me.
Yeah.
It's okay if
Yeah.
somebody likes your picture, like or heart or something like that. But when somebody sees something like that, I didn't know I needed her to reach out to me.
Yeah.
I thought the cupcake was it, but when she reached out, are you okay? You need something? You wanna hang? You wanna talk? And two of my friends actually did that, and so it was like, oh, like somebody cares about me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it felt good. But it's like one of those things where you don't realize you need it until you get it. But
Right.
I don't need to talk on the phone anymore either. I talk to my mother every day.
Mhm.
But in texting is fine because sometimes with texting you can say what you really need to say, like erase and then like, no, I don't mean it that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a little bit better. But conversations are good. And that's why I like to go out to dinner with my friends and, that kind of thing. But I do need to definitely increase my emotional health. What about you?
Increase emotional health. I don't know. I'm so wishy-washy because it's like if I'm feeling something and I'm trying to like work my feeling, like why am I feeling emotional about something? I have arguments for and against why I'm feeling it. So which just is so fitting to my wishy-washy sort of personality.
Right.
I really just don't know. I don't know where I am with my emotional health.
The
And I
thing
don't
that
know if
stood
I
out
need to
to me,
increase or decrease.
the thing that stood out to me with this was is to try to maintain a balance between your daily responsibilities and the things you enjoy. If you take care of yourself,
Oh,
you'll be better prepared to deal with challenges if and when they arise. That's so true.
yeah.
And so I think I'm gonna copy and paste. So I need that. All right, the last thing, prevent metabolic syndrome. I don't even know what the heck that is. You want to read it?
Metabolic syndrome is the name for a group of risk factors that raise your risk for heart disease and other health problems, such as diabetes and stroke. The term metabolic refers to biochemical processes involved in the body's normal functioning. Risk factors are traits, conditions, or habits that increase your chance of developing a disease. In the future, metabolic syndrome may overtake smoking as the leading risk factor for heart disease. It is possible to prevent or delay metabolic syndrome mainly with lifestyle changes. A healthy lifestyle is a lifelong commitment. Ultimately, if consistently addressing the 9 aforementioned rules, there is a strong likelihood that metabolic syndrome will be prevented. Look at that.
I mean, it makes sense, but it seems very difficult.
But you're right, a group of risk factors that raise the risk for heart disease and other health problems, such as diabetes and stroke. Yeah, when you're sedentary and yeah, okay,
So I think we should
okay.
we should both look into these things and see what things we might need help with and
Mm-hmm.
kind of, try to utilize it in our own life in whatever way we can,
Yeah,
and see where we can go from there.
I like that.
Kind of important. Anything else you want to add to today's topic before we move on?
Health versus wealth. Health versus wealth. I feel as though that is one of those topics that I think is something that people argue about when it comes to I'm gonna go down this rabbit hole, but oh well. Welcome to the Yep Yeah Yes
Let's be
podcast.
mindful of the time.
I don't gotta be mindful of shit. You know how people
I
say
can pause you, and then all of a sudden, like, what happened to my 5-minute diatribe?
exactly. So remember how people at some point in political arenas, how health care is not a right, it is something that you earn. Don't agree with that. If you choose not to have medical benefits for your family, then that is your right. Again, I'm not sure I agree with that. So when it comes to health and wealth, I think definitely one goes hand in hand. I think if you are emotionally healthy, like that thing said before, if you're emotionally healthy, you understand where your wealth is. And I think if you're wealthy, you understand where your emotional health is. And
Right.
when you value both and respect both and understand that the definitions for both are subjective, I think you're on the right track. Just get up, move around. We're luxurious in terms of we have access to clean water. Drink your water, move your body, and be kind. Just fucking be kind.
It's easier said
To
than
yourself.
done.
To yourself mainly. Than to others.
Be true. That's the phrase. That is the phrase. I don't know. It's easier said than done, but one can try.
You can do it.
All right, let's gonna kind of make a transition if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
I thought he was canceled. Not really. I mean, can you really cancel the man?
The man, yes. Them hits?
The hits, not so much, right?
Not so much. But I am a feminist, true and true, and I stand with you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's another story for another day. Let's move on. It is. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know what to share today. My thoughts are jumbled. I thought about giving my views on everything from the Olympics to anti-vaxxers to politics and even the baby. What the fuck's up with him? But I've been in a funk lately, and I honestly am at a loss for words. So I'll just say, have a good weekend. Tell someone you love them. And hey, Ashton Kutcher, showers are better than bird baths. Marissa, where can they catch us?
Yep, yeah, yes, 18 on Instagram and Twitter. For your smart speaker, smart device, the Yep, yeah, yes podcast. At us, boo. When you're on, if you'd like to watch us so you can get to see the banter back and forth, you can go onto YouTube for the Yep, yeah, yes podcast and watch us there. Subscribe, like, let me know, and don't give yourself a bird bath, please.
Oh my gosh. Wiping your pom-pom and calling it a day is not. And like babies have like rashes.
That's not it. When people tell me that they don't wash their babies, like.
And we've been around babies where like, oh, they
that baby smells.
That baby,
like, your baby fucking stinks. Just FYI, I can smell it. Your baby stinks.
You used to sometimes look after a baby, and I'd go meet you over to these people's house, and I'd be like, so they just not gonna watch the kid at all. All right, y'all. Well, have a good weekend. Stop to smell the roses, and make sure you take.
Just don't pick the rose.
Pick a rose. Pick your nose before you pick a rose.
Yeah. Just like a lot of beautiful things out there. If she's doing well, leave her the fuck alone.
Right. All right. Well, stay out the sun.
Trust me, I'm trying.
Bye now.
Bye.